Well, you know what? We had our 8th practice today. I think we're making progress. This Saturday we'll have a scrimmage, and that'll give us more of an indication. Some of the things that I'm seeing, I think Harrison's really showing some exceptional vision and burst, and he's got good hands, so that's encouraging. Jalen Sargent is starting to mature more as a receiver, so encouraged about that. And then the other guy that I think is just making some leaps and bounds progress is Colby Taylor. And if we can get a guy with that kind of range playing corner, that can really help us. We're going to continue to add some things, but the majority of our offense and defense is in. So Saturday's scrimmage will be an indication of where we're at. So questions?
What's the offensive line look like?
I didn't bring that up before. We're a little thin right now, but it's given some guys some Wes King and Rick Johnson, some guys an opportunity to go out and work. We're a work in progress right now, I would say. We don't have Frank, we don't have Caden at tackles, but it's given us an opportunity for other guys to get some reps.
Craig, you obviously work with the punters directly, but I talked to Ralph. You seem really fired up about giving Clayton some competition. Does that excite you to kind of see that?
Well, competition always brings out the best in people. I thought Clayton had done a good job for us this last year, and that'll go into camp. I can tell you this, we always watch everything, and competition's always good. But when you have a guy that's consistently done some things, we had significant improvement in the punting game. I appreciate Ralph's attitude. I'll watch that. But right now, Clayton's done a better job than Ralph.
Coach Boyd said Colby's one of the more physically gifted players he's ever coached. Is it just a matter of harnessing that, or is it taking?
Well, I think a lot of it is just Colby understanding how to play corner. In this game, to be able to, utilize your length but not grab, being able to process the defense and do the calls, and then just maintaining focus and composure. And so these are steps that Colby's always had ability, but some of those things to be able to put them into action, sometimes there's some self-inflicted wounds where he would lose focus here or there, and I've not seen that. We've had 8 really hard days, and he's had 8 good days.
What have you seen out of Burton Ole so far?
He's playing. He's a little bit banged up, but it's been good. The guy who's really, I think, made significant strides is Gavin inside. Yep.
You mentioned Jalen Borg the other day. How'd you guys find him? Because he didn't play in hardly any high school.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've known his high school coach. His high school coach moved to that school, pretty nationally recognized school. And I've known his high school coach for probably 35 years. Well, that's a long time. He and I go back way, way back. And, as we started to go through and process, there were pieces in place that indicated that he could have a really big upside. And so that's one of those things where you're turning over every stone, and sometimes you get lucky. And I think I wouldn't say we were lucky there. We did our due diligence, and I think you're going to see John Mike really add some great value to our offense this next year.
I think you had mentioned maybe last week about Wyatt Wheelan maybe putting on some size this offseason. I mean, what have you seen out of him since putting the pads on?
Beyond the size, all his measurables he's made progress. And when you find a guy that's that later in his career to make those kind of gains physically, that's an indication of real true discipline, because when you're younger it's easier to put on some lean muscle mass, but as you get older and more mature, that's where you really have to make a concerted effort, and he's done that. I think his confidence has improved, his catching ability, and he's also where earlier in his career I didn't think he had the ability to separate from a defensive back, and we're seeing more of that. That was indicated on his flying 10s and a lot of other measurables from this offseason, and then it's showing up on the field.
Has he still been on the special teams too?
Pardon me?
Has he still on special teams?
Yeah, you know what? Last year, we had him return punts when Caleb got hurt. I'd like to see us. We'll look at Wyatt doing that. I thought Caleb was really good, and not to say that Wyatt wasn't, but we'll look at that as we go. But right now, I think you're going to see Wyatt doing more things from the receiver position and moving him around there.